I have two examples of patients where we've directly seen the impact of what we do. It is why I am so passionate about what we do, and having good people deliver really good services is really important to us. I'm David Carroll, Chief Operating Officer of Bodycare Workplace Solutions. One of the situations was I was working with a miner in central Queensland who had a really irritable back injury, and we got him every sort of rehab we could. We sent him to pain management programs, we sent him to functional conditioning programs in Brisbane, and really tried to get him back. But unfortunately, every time he went into the drifty, which is the car that takes you down underground, he'd get back spasms and he was unable to do his normal role. So unfortunately, he was also illiterate, and that meant that he was unable to work again and as a miner, and unfortunately had a lot of regular costs that only a mining salary could pay for. So it was a really big impact on his life, and seeing the negative impact of going into the work cover system and the pressure that put on him and his family was a real stark real sign for me that we need to try and prevent people getting into that system as much as possible. Another example of where it turned out really well was a couple of weeks later, we had a person come into our office and say, look, I've got really bad elbow pain. I've had it for 11 months. Unfortunately, no one can find what's going on. And if I don't get better in the next month or so, they're going to write me off, which means I can no longer be a fitter in the mines, and that'll devastate me. So lucky he saw one of our really good physios, and he was able to diagnose that it wasn't tennis elbow, it was actually a radial nerve entrapment. And that slight diagnosis change made the world of difference. And so we were able to contact the surgeon, the specialist, and work cover and get an extension on the time for his recovery. And he actually made a full recovery once the diagnosis was there. So it really cemented to me the impact of having good physios, good diagnosis, and working with the system to get good outcome. And we walked into our physio practice a couple of weeks later, and it was full of flowers, and the patient came in and was just so grateful that we had made such an impact, a positive impact on his life. And seeing those two cases very close together is why I'm so passionate about the work we do. I truly believe our purpose of keeping workers healthy, safe and injury free is achievable when we've got really good people who care about what we do.